So I feel like Amber is in a very tight predicament, like a very tight corner. You know what I mean? Anthony being a father, let's just say it's his child and he's a father. What does she do? Does she stay or does she leave?
Maybe you should. Maybe you shouldn't be here.
Amber, I'm where I want to be. Right where I want to be. I'm right with the person I want to be with and the woman that I love.
It just seems like she's just always gonna be in the mix and everything. I mean, what is she calling about?
And that is correct. This is indicative of the man who says, you know what? I don't want to date single mothers. I think Amber is in now the same predicament, only that the roles and the gender has actually switched. So instead of it being a single mom, it's now a person who potentially could be a single dad. So does she have the same choice? Well, I'd want to hope so, and I'd want to think so that she has the same power, just like a single man has. That a single man would say, you know what, I don't want to date a single mother. So you couldn't blame him, but could you blame her either? Let's continue.
It doesn't matter.
Joya,
Yes.
you didn't ask for another date with him. What was the turnoff?
Specifically, the turnoff was when I asked that
Finna make up
question
something right now.
about would you date a single mother? And Jacoby, you proceeded to tell me that basically you're a high value man and you are too good for a single mother.
All right. So I love this. So today's content is because Jacoby was in the same position before. Real live on TV, they were talking, they're trying to get this dating show going. And of course, there was a single model on there. And of course, Jacoby is a man who, hey, has his things going on. You've seen him in the Kountry Wayne skits. But they pretty much wanted to shame him on the program because he's saying, hey, you know what? I don't want to date a single mom. And guys, listen to me. I mean, whether a man wants to date a single mom or not is his choice. But I think that we're having the same thing now with Amber. Because the truth is, if Amber decides that, you know, Anthony's a guy that she doesn't want to no longer be married to because she doesn't want to deal with Shayla, she would be right. And she would be well within her right. And we couldn't blame her for that. I've always been saying this and I've been very constant about it.
However, you did also tell me that you were raised by a single mother, which is profound for me to think that a single mother's not good enough for you, but it's good enough for a woman to raise you. That's unfair. And it's very insensitive to women out there who have children.
It's not insensitive. This is unfair and it's tough because he didn't really even say that. He just said that the choices that a woman has made in terms of having a child is her choice, but the world shouldn't suffer for your choice. And it's tough that she's actually using this as a marker and to use the fact that his mother, who was a single mother, raised him. Let me just put some caveat into this. My mom was a single mother and she never wanted me to date a woman with kids either. So what exactly are we saying? She didn't want that. She wanted me to actually get a wife who had no children at all and work it that way. And I think that her reasoning behind that is because she didn't want me to go through the gamut of having to deal with the child's father, because that's always something to deal with. Because that child, right, whether you like it or not, has to deal with that.
All right, so just because it's a cycle, I wanted to continue.
It doesn't have to continue.
So what I'm saying is that
it's more about why would you cut off and say that single women are not on the same level?
What you're supposed to learn from is history. So
Really?
you're a very intelligent woman.
No. Simp man, you need to stop because you're not getting into anything at all. Please stop the talking. You can't call the man down if the man is saying that he doesn't want to date a single mother. He has that choice. If he doesn't have a child, he has that choice. Just like Amber has the choice right now. And this is what I was arguing before. You understand? I think I had this argument with a lot of people before, and it was the same thing. It was the same kind of reaction when I had it with a couple of single mothers, and I said, let's just switch the rules around. Amber is now in the same position, and guess what? She is right. If she decides that, you know what, I don't want to be a woman that has to deal with Shayla as a baby mother, she'll be right.
You're a very intelligent woman. You're a very intelligent woman, right?
Yes.
So if you know, as a woman growing up, you know it's the less likelihood for you to be successful by having a child. So what you do, you be more proactive. using condoms.
What's that got to do
You making
with
sure
your
that you,
choice?
okay, if you're getting pregnant, then all right, cool. Maybe I shouldn't continue having this child because I'm not getting married. I a better chance of me having a successful life
You're speaking
by
of
finding a
me.
man. That's what I'm
Excuse me.
thinking.
So you were raised by a single mother?
Yes, and
Is your
I
mother still
struggled.
alive?
I struggle.
My mother is still alive and she still is giving me the same gamut that she doesn't want me to be with a single mother. And nothing wrong with her at all. She's just saying, hey, O'Neal, it is tough to raise a child like that because you have to deal with the father. And no one talks about these other pieces. No one talks about having to deal with the father. It might come over there, it might be crazy. It might tell you that, him don't want to be, him don't want you to, be with his child or whatever. I've seen instances where the actual father has tried to set up the stepfather. So when people make it look like this is easy and the whole idea of being a stepdad is so honorable, what is the honor in that? Come on, guys. I'm not saying you can't do it, but please, please.
I'm still
Did
alive.
she struggle or did you struggle?
Both of us struggle.
Okay, so your words that echoed all around social media, and I want to make sure that we have this clearly, were, I'm a high value man. I've done things to step up my echelon, and I'm not going to settle for a single mother.
And he's right to do that. Just like if a woman has done her work and she has no children and she's young and she's able to bear children, okay? And she knows exactly herself and she decides that, you know what, she doesn't want a man that has kids. She wants a man without children so that way she and him can start their own family and they don't have to worry about an outside mother that is coming in to mess up the relationship or for that child to always have any resentment toward her. That's exactly what he's saying. But of course, again, because it appears to the woman, we're going to look at it like it's something else and we're going to start to play the mother conversation. I always love this, because you see, it always gives me a story to get back to it. And I love the fact that the Amber story raises this same topic.
Did I have that correctly? I want to be clear.
Yeah, we'll be selling.
Right. So what makes you think you're a high value man? The car you drive?
No, the value I put out into the world.
What about your character?
What about his character? What does his character say? All his character said was that, hey, he just doesn't want to have to deal with a single mother. He's saying, I want to start my own family, to have to work things out with my own family, to do things to begin from scratch, my own kids, and I don't want anyone in the mix of that. What's wrong with that?
I have great character. I've built myself to basically have better choices. You want to know why? Because women can choose and make a choice.
They can.
They can say, I don't want to date a man that makes less than 6 figures.
They can.
And then what are you doing? You're
But we're
demeaning
not
a man.
talking about that.
Women
That's
can
not
talk
the
about their
situation.
things.
That's what we're talking about. That's the thing. Hold on there, guys. That's exactly what we're talking about. It's the power of choice. This is a man who has built himself and he's saying, hey, if I have to pick up the litter and I have the money that I have and I have the success that I have and I've seen how my mother has actually struggled and I've seen what she has gone to and she's brought men around me and I saw how I felt about them. You know what? Instead of doing that, I actually want to get a family on my own. Then what's wrong with that? I can remember growing up that I had a stepfather, right? And I've stepfathered kids before. So it's not like I haven't been in this scenario before. It is not easy. Women make it look at this is the most honorable thing. It's not. Because at the end of the day, doesn't matter what you actually do and how much you do for that particular child, you are not the child's father. I couldn't care less what you could want to say. You are not the child's father. Especially even here in California, you're not. Stepfathers don't measure in. If something were to happen to the mother, someone would come and take the child. You are not the child's father, and that's just it. Unless you have adopted that child, which you're probably not going to get to in this instance of what she's talking about. That's what it is.
What I want
Listen,
to
hold
be
on.
That's not
A
the
woman can say, I
conversation.
won't date a man less than 5'8", and the man could be 5'4". Do they care about
What does that have to do
ostracizing all of those
with
men?
anything?
If a fat man is sitting here, he can be a fat man, right? But if a fat woman is sitting here, you would say, oh no, we're body positive. Oh, no, we can't say that. We can't. It's all about picking her up. So every time it's saying something for a man,
Bro,
it's down.
you got a lot on your back.
No, he has nothing on his back. What he has on his back is his dignity. And he's saying exactly what he needs to say at this point in time. This is a man who has built himself and he has to pick up the litter. Just like a woman who is young, she has to pick up the litter. She can decide what man she wants. That's why women in them 30s can choose. Them can choose. And so some women may choose an older man or they may choose a younger man in there. They have the pick of it. It's almost as if when it comes to the power of choice, women are supposed to have all the choices in the world, but men must settle for whatever else it is. And that is quite unfair. Just like I'm sure you know, it's the same thing that's happening now with the Anthony story. The only difference is the gender roles has switched. The gender roles have switched. There's no difference as to what's happening now. Amber can decide if she wants to keep Anthony around or not. And she would be right.
Okay, so what I
I'm
want
just
to be
being- I'm just saying
clear,
equal
not
rights.
just for you, but for everybody out there, is the car you drive, your resume, your bank account, your accolades is not what makes you a high-value man.
Definitely not.
We are all defined by the sum of our deeds and our character, and you, brother, are coming up to the sum of zero.
So he's coming up to the sum of zero. Guess why he's coming to the sum of zero? Simply because he's saying no to a single mother. That's why he's coming up to the sum of zero. I want y'all to hold on to this, In other words, this lady is trying to say that because this man has decided he wants to reject a single mother, he's a bad man, he has no morality about him, he has no wherewithal to talk about anything at all, he's a terrible man, he's awful. I guess he probably would land in the grit of trash and every single thing else. Simply because he's saying, you know what? I don't want that to be my choice. I don't want to have to deal with the child and the child's father. And it is a correct statement. Guys, I've done the stepdad thing. And if you haven't done it, please don't talk about it. If you really and truly haven't done it, don't even get into it. Don't even try to see if you can fathom. When you put a lot of money and time and effort in a child, and at the end of the day, the dad gets all the credit. Don't even start to talk about it. Don't even start to talk about it. And as I've said before, I've even had a stepdad. And no matter how much the man had tried, I can tell you from my personal self, it is what it is. My father still is the one that I've looked up to because that's just what it is. And that's what it should be. What's wrong with that? But I love this. I love this actual. I want to know what y'all think about this. This is the same predicament that Amber is in. And if she decides that she does not want to settle with Anthony, just like we're seeing on the story, and as we've seen with many other women who says, you know what, I don't want a man with kids. Nothing is wrong with that. If she doesn't want a man with kids, she doesn't want a man with kids because she doesn't have to deal with that. If she has no children and she's young, she's fertile, she has a lot going on for her, she can decide if she wants a man with children or not. And if that is the case, it should be the same for a man with no kids. But hey guys, the conversation is heated. It's hot. We're right in this particular point. I want to let you know what y'all guys think. I want to let you know what y'all guys think. I want to know what you guys think about this one. Is he wrong for saying, hey, I'm a man without kids. I've built myself thus far, and I don't want to date a single mom. I don't want to marry a single mom. Is he incorrect? Or it can go for the woman, but it can't go for the man. Let me know what y'all think. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I'm going to talk to y'all soon.